everybody, it's GuestTag here. This is Ed with a J.
Jacob Corinthian here.
Warren Kyle over here.
And today we also have Lily.
Hello.
It's been a while. We're doing a quick retrospective of the previous console generation, the 7th generation, if Wikipedia is to be believed, and specifically in reference to the Xbox 360, the Wii, and the PS3. We're just going to go over some of our favorite moments from it, starting with Jago and the Xbox 360.
Well, I got the 360 the year it came out, like for Christmas.
And it broke.
And it broke.
Yep.
But that was a year and a half later, but still.
Because of Oblivion.
Yeah, that was kind of annoying.
Didn't you just barely get through the character creation?
Yeah. That's exactly what happened.
It's like, oh, you're done creating your character? Well, how about I...
Yeah, that was terrible. Anyway, I love the console, even though it red ringed on me once, twice, 3, 4 times? 4 times, I think it was.
To be fair, 2 of those Xboxes red ringed before you got a hold of them.
No, only one of them.
No. I got them, they were working fine, and it red ringed.
2 of them
One took 2 months, the other one took like 2 days.
The other 2 weren't yours.
Yeah. Anywho, I eventually bought a new 360, even though it had red ring issues, and I kept with it. I don't know if you want to call that brand loyalty, but
I find it incredibly odd.
I liked it more.
Excuse me. That's just... If that were happening to an iPod, specifically if that were happening to me on an iPod or anything
You know Craig?
else, yeah.
You know how many iPods he's had?
Really?
We counted.
No way.
It's in the double digits.
I put a hole through one of his and it still worked.
I think I gave you one of my old Nanos.
Yes,
Anyway.
Off
No,
topic?
I find that so odd that if you are continuously given a bad or a broken product by somebody who is assuring you that it works.
He never assured me it would work.
Oh.
I knew it would.
Well,
I knew what I was getting into.
To be fair, Ed, she also had a PlayStation 3.
I just didn't use it. I didn't find the community great.
There was no community.
Exactly. I was more of a multiplayer person, and I never found the community that spectacular.
by the time he got his first red ring, the red ring issue was a well-known problem.
Yeah, but
And it had affected almost half of the people who had one by that time.
So,
I never got red ringed. Woo.
Yeah, no, that's true. I never got a red ring either.
I still have
But
an
I got
original
it
arcade
late
that has
into the
red
game.
ringed.
I got into the game when Banjo and Kazooie Nuts and Bolts came into play, and that, well, it's another story.
I got my Xbox. Oof. Probably when Modern Warfare 2 came out.
No, it was before that.
Right, it was just before that. We were playing COD 4.
We were playing Call of Duty 4, so it had to be before that.
Oh, man. Good times.
No, it was during World at War, because everyone went back to Call of Duty 4 because World at War was
Terrible.
too much of a World War II game.
There's nothing wrong with a World War II game.
No,
it's
it's
just
just
not a very well-made
It-
World War II game.
No, it was fine. It was a good game. It's just it was a step backwards.
Sorry, I was thinking of 3.
Oh no, Call of Duty 3 was terrible.
Yeah.
I did like the Xbox 360, but I found it killed the first-person shooter genre for me. I just can't play them anymore.
Well, that's just sort of in general. It's because of the annualized Call of Duty trend.
Freaking Call of Duty.
I have no problems with first-person shooters.
I still play them.
I'll play them too. I was just playing Ghost with you. I was having a blast. It's just when we were growing up, during our high school years, it was just all first-person shooters all the time. So
Halo.
it's like with you guys, first-person shooters. That's fine.
Stab
when
it!
I go home, I want to play Ratchet and Clank, or I want to play Knights, or I want to play Sonic.
You kept ditching us in Modern Warfare 2.
Did I?
Yes.
Ditching you for what?
Whatever the hell else you were doing.
GameCube something or other.
Oh, I was probably playing Smash Bros.
Yeah.
And DJ Hero.
Oh, and DJ. No, that didn't stick around for too long.
I never really got into that. I never actually
Nobody
had
did.
live.
Nobody ever got
No,
it.
Yes,
not
you
the
did.
DJ Hero.
You had live. I have 3 accounts with your name on it on my friends list, so you had live.
Yeah, but none of those I actually bought a subscription for. All those were just when I bought different Xboxes and then sold them.
There was a while when we were playing Borderlands.
Yeah, but that only lasted like 2 weeks.
Yeah, no.
And then I sold that console because I just couldn't get into the 360. And
Again, it's not for everyone. It's all on preferences. I like the 360 because I'm a social person.
I found the
And I
360
find that the 360 was great for, like, social gaming, you know?
I found the
playing
360 was the
multiplayer
stronger
games.
multiplayer console.
Oh no, I'm not disputing that at all.
No, it really was. But here's the thing: I'm not as much of a multiplayer person because
Same.
I was playing
You're-
I was playing the Old Republic yesterday, and I went through 2 whole planets. Never partied with anybody, never grouped with anybody, nothing like that. So I'm playing it like a single player game, and you know what? It's a great game on its own.
And I was the guy who played Guitar Hero all the time, and I would rarely
But you
play
also
it in
were
the
a big
presence
fan of
other
games like
people
Mass
except
Effect
my
and
brothers
Ratchet
who were
Clank.
doing their own thing anyway. So I would just practice that game. So
Yeah, you see...
it's like I still played it on 360, but that was because it was an
But-
Activision game, and at that point, like, Activision was already well cemented as the company who made Xbox exclusive stuff.
But I
So it
remember,
seemed appropriate.
I remember back when Assassin's Creed 2 came out, me and Jacob would spend literally hours in party chat playing this single
Even
player
if it's a
game.
single player game, we would just talk about, oh, did you do that thing yet? No. Oh, I just killed 4 people. Your turn. I'll get 5. I swear I'll get 5. How are you gonna get 5? Just watch. Just watch.
Oh man, good times.
No, that we
Still remember going to bed one day, coming back on, Jaco's still online. Are you up already? I never went to bed. What the fuck is wrong with
What were
you?
you playing?
Assassin's Creed 2?
Really?
He was up all
You played
night!
on Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
I went to bed for 9 hours. I came back, he was still
I
on.
love Assassin's Creed 2 as much as you do, but wow, I never played it that much.
Oh man,
I did that with Mass Effect though.
Oh man, Jago went hard. Jago went hard. on it.
You know the villa thing?
Oh yeah,
I went right into it, man. I
Oh,
bought
wow.
all the paintings. I
no, I did
bought.
that too. I completed the game
Oh, I know.
twice.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure the only thing he didn't do was feathers, and I'm pretty sure he did that later.
No, I still haven't finished the feathers.
Seriously?
I didn't want to.
Do you know what you get?
Frustrated me.
A cape.
Yeah, you get a cape.
Yeah.
It makes you notorious everywhere you go.
Bleh.
No, it's an awful thing, but you get a really sweet cutscene with his mom.
Oh wait, I think I saw that cutscene actually.
There's-
Yeah, where
There's
she's remembering. Federico? No, Federico was the other brother.
Uh,
What's his name?
Petrucci? No,
Petruccio?
I think it was Petruccio.
I want to say Pablo, but I think that's wrong.
Pablo's way off.
My brother Pablo. That doesn't sound right at all. It's a me, Mario. That's one of my favorite moments in that game.
I'm a Luigi.
Just cause okay, Uncle Mario. Alright. They're not gonna do that. They did it! What? Alright.
I remember listening to that in party chat. Jago just about lost his shit at that point.
I was
What?
like, they didn't fucking do that. I'm like, and he was like,
No, they did not. No, fuck.
and then he got there like 2 seconds later. He's like,
Why?
Mass Effect, though. You
Never
guys had
played them.
Assassin's Creed. Me and Orcal had
Mass
Mass
Effect.
Effect. Although you played it PC, didn't you? So I think
I
you
went through
technically
PC.
played it right.
I got the more pure experience because I could import my saves through all of them. I could play all of the DLC. I could mod the game. I could do whatever I wanted. But I went through, took my time, was very meticulous about it, and did it best playthrough it possibly could the first time with no guides, none of that. I got about 90% of what you could get my first time through.
I did that too. I don't think I used a guide my first run through. I'm not typically a fan of New Game Plus, but I did it for Mass Effect and I regret it. Because Mass Effect, if you play Mass Effect 1 and then immediately go back and play Mass Effect 1 again, you are going to get really bored. Or at least I found that to be the experience.
I couldn't get through Mass Effect. There was
It's a
no
dry game.
structure, and I need some form of structure. I mean, Oblivion, I had a good time with that. Actually,
It
I had
is-
some idea what I was supposed to be doing.
It is a bit dry, but
it's really dry. Then that's why I couldn't get through the game. You guys are like, oh,
It's
it
not
gets
like-
better. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. I played through the
Granted-
first level and a half, and I was bored out of my mind.
It's not as bad as, say,
freaking too.
watching Dune or
wait,
what is
you
it,
you,
2001: A Space Odyssey, but it's a dry game.
you managed to get through Knights of the Old Republic, right?
No,
Oh, well,
Really?
I got
would've
to
expected
the
you
planet
to
with space
just push
monkeys.
through
That was
that.
it.
no, I haven't finished it still.
Wow. Okay.
Really? Because yeah,
I know all about Knights of the Old Republic, and I know the whole story behind it, but I have not finished the game.
See, Mass Effect 1 is a lot less dry than those games. But
I couldn't get very far.
yeah,
That's also because I'm a completionist and have to explore everything and do absolutely every possible.
well,
little
that's
path.
actually a trap to get into in Mass Effect because there's a lot of pointless planets to explore that have one or two things you can't access unless you're like a dude with super hacking or a dude with super this other thing.
Yeah.
So it's a very
If
frustrating
you're
game for the completionists.
If you're doing that, I mean, I did that, and I had a blast doing it. But when I got to that part, I had a guide.
I found it was very.
Just so
I
I
found it
didn't
was very. It was more first-person shooter than RPG to me.
Third-person shooter.
I'm a very okay. It was a shooter more than an RPG, and I've always had a strong attraction to RPG games. That's always been my thing. I loved Skyrim. I loved Oblivion. I played Oblivion for so many hours.
yeah, it's
I think my original game save had over 300 hours on it.
if you want RPG at a BioWare, you should go with the Dragon Age series.
I tried to play
Or
Dragon
Mass
Age.
Dragon Age
Just
was
the first.
Dragon Age wasn't. I couldn't get.
I
into
like
it
Dragon
either.
Age 2 more than Origin. I like Dragon Age
Actually,
2.
the only reason I couldn't get into Dragon Age is because I got to this one point and I kind of broke my save file somehow because I went to one area, though it's a go to any area, but I went to this one area and it's like, oh no, we need to do this other thing first, but you couldn't leave the area until you finish the story bit.
I ran
and it's
into
like, I'm stuck. Now what? I don't have a save to go to. Great, I'm done.
Or it's kind of like a thing I encountered when playing Champions of Norath. I played that game so much that in the first area where you're supposed to destroy catapults, I played it so much that the disc wouldn't load properly and one of the catapults wouldn't load into the map.
Oh, wow.
The spot where it was supposed to be was an untextured rectangle of grass. So there's this one thing that you're supposed to destroy that you can't destroy, and you can't proceed until you've destroyed it, and that disc would never load it. So even if I load the save file, it wouldn't work.
Best game on Xbox 360. Exclusive to Xbox 360.
In your personal opinion.
Exclusive to Xbox 360?
Or to Xbox 360 and PC, like just Microsoft in general.
Microsoft exclusive.
Microsoft exclusive.
I'd probably have to give that one to the Halo series, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly, I'd have to go with Halo. It's their
Halo 3.
their flagship. Halo 3 specifically.
Oh, yeah.
Especially
Halo
because
is what
we had
made
so
the
much,
Xbox.
so much good times with
Oh,
that.
Oh,
yeah,
my
man.
goodness. Remember that time? Were you there? I was driving a Warthog and Vic was playing online and we got like a super kill streak. It was like
I was the side gunner. I got like 2 kills with a pistol.
Yeah.
You two had like 3/4 of the team score.
He was on the gun and I was on the car and I was running people over while he was shooting it and it was one of the big team matches.
Yeah.
And it was just the three of us getting points.
See, that's the thing about Halo 3 that I like, is the sense of scale. You feel like it's such a grand, amazing game, even when it's like
Tiny little maps.
Yeah,
It still feels
even
big.
when you're playing a custom game of like Griffball.
But
or something.
this was
Not even that though. The amount of creativity we spent. Oh my god, the amount of maps we made in that.
The
Forge
Forge mode was one of the greatest features they
the
implemented.
resetting the map to make the interlocking stuff and everything. You remember that
I
big
remember
tower
that.
thing I made in
Yeah.
Forge?
Oh, remember when we made the elephant fly?
Yes. That took so much effort to get it right, though.
Exactly.
I remember
but
that day. That
you
was
see,
so
that's
cool.
the type of thing that we do with Halo 3, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's why I think that's one of the best. If you're going exclusively best games of the Xbox 360, go with Halo 3.
Well,
Now, but from your personal perspective, any game exclusive
Skyrim.
or whatever, Skyrim? Your
Skyrim
favorite game that you ever played on
Skyrim
360 was
is
Skyrim.
Skyrim.
Really?
I'd have to give it to Creed 2, to be honest. I had a lot.
Creed 2 was great,
Creed
and
2.
overall, if I'm going to choose a series that I think is great overall, is Assassin's Creed 2. But I sunk more hours into Skyrim than any other game ever.
I sunk so much time into Assassin's Creed 2. I loved Skyrim, don't get me wrong. It was a great hack and slash RPG. It was great.
you
I had
guys
blast.
talking about sinking a lot of time into Skyrim. Do you guys have any idea how much time I've spent playing Gary's mod? I mastered
Oh,
that.
man, we're gonna...
Speaking of Gary's mod, I saw something on Stelupon yesterday.
Yeah.
Somebody hacked their Kinect sensor so that they could use it to track motion into Gary's mod.
Was that
Oh, yeah, that's easy.
Old Kinect
Source
or new
engine.
Kinect?
It was they had to use some custom coding. It was
Yeah, but
Nice.
Source
Like
engine.
1.0 or 2.0?
I'm not sure.
We've got
They didn't
both
specify
looking at
which.
us right
Because it
But-
actually...
But they got it so
Kinda
it tracks
matters.
the motion onto the models in Gary's mod, so they could actually, kick something, and the character in Gary's mod would kick and move boxes and
But
shit.
I've put more than 1,000
sounds
hours
like a
into Gary's
2.0
mod.
thing.
I have
Yeah,
built
maybe.
more things in Gary's mod than most people will ever even see in that game. I have mastered a programming language that doesn't even exist specifically for that game.
Wow.
It's called Expression 2. I am a master of it. I can make things that other players can only dream of in that game. And you know what? that skill is useless anywhere else. But
Anyway.
it was so much
Actually,
fun.
no. You know
The
what?
language that
I think
doesn't
Assassin's.
exist.
I think I'd have to agree with Rickus here, or Lily, or whatever you want to call
Is it
yourself.
Rikus or Lily?
Lily
We'll
works.
go with Lily. Okay.
More people know me by Lily than Rickus.
Okay. Wait, was it Rickus this whole time? Because I was always saying Rikus.
Nah, well, it was actually Rickus, but I didn't care enough to correct anyone. Just like I didn't care when people called me Lily in game.
Anyway, Assassin's Creed 2 is by far
It's a
one of my
great game.
favorite games.
I couldn't get into Fable. I tried to play it.
Oh no, Assassin's Creed 2.
Fable!
I heard
It's
Fable.
such a, Fable 2 is kind of... The Fable games are kind of interesting.
I played a lot of Fable 2, but
I tried to play Fable 2 and I just couldn't. I got really, really bored, so I went and killed the entire home village and then gave up.
The Fable games are something I meant to give a little more time to just because of how interesting it could be to be a dick in those games.
That game actually, it had a lot of depth. Like, more than you'd expect from a game of that type.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I guess, worst game? Worst game you've ever played.
that Sonic thing you made me touch.
Sonic 06 AM, where I made you play Sonic the Hedgehog
Yeah.
in the middle, so early in the morning.
Yeah, I'd have to say that's one of the worst games I've ever had to touch.
I'd have to say, for me, Sonic Unleashed, actually.
Sonic Unleashed, I couldn't even finish. Sonic 06, I beat.
Yeah, see, I couldn't handle Sonic Unleashed.
No, it's better on the Wii. It's easier to play on the Wii because the level design is different and the controls work a little bit better. Wii or PS2.
Worst game that I played.
360 and PS3 is just awful. Somehow Sylvex finished it.
Somehow.
Sylvex keeps...
Brink was
Yeah, but
pretty bad.
he's
Brink
sort of
was
he's
only
like
boring.
he's
Yeah.
very sadistic to himself.
To be honest, one of the worst games I played had to be
but
Revelations.
He enjoys it.
Revelations.
Wait,
I
didn't like Revelations?
Yeah, I just
Okay.
The whole nest defense thing, and I just found it was,
I hated.
I hated that
in one
mechanic.
mission.
I hated that mechanic so much, and
I
I
don't
found
know
everything
why.
else was just more of the same. Just
Yeah,
It was just
didn't-
getting
you
to the
didn't
point.
have to repeat it, but then you lost all your dens.
But as
it was so
as
I
much as
got
I
to
loved-
the point where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna take over every single den just so I don't do the stupid tower defense mission.
but
I quite
as I
honestly can't remember playing.
You didn't
Assassin's
sink
Creed.
enough time into it then.
I finished it.
That's not
The
enough
only
time.
thing I
No,
did-
that's not sinking time into the game. Because
The-
Assassin's Creed Revelations.
the only
if
part
you
about
had to
Revelations
play-
I liked was that whole little navigation thing as Desmond to get through the Animus.
Oh, that was interesting.
I thoroughly enjoyed that. My dad was the one who actually finished it. I never actually finished the story, but he always just hand the controller because apparently he
If you
sucks
like
at that.
you should download the Lost Archive DLC. It's that. It's just that, and it's the Clay Kazmarek character.
I'm not going to put
The
money
Subject
in.
16
I'm not going to sink any money into that game.
Okay, fair enough. I don't blame you.
I
But
could
I
not.
actually- I didn't
As
like
much
it.
as I loved Assassin's Creed 2, I did not like Revelations.
Guess we should be. Oh wait, I didn't say.
I found it was like an unnecessary tumor upon the Assassin's Creed 2 series.
Do you remember a little thing called Sneak King?
No.
No.
The Burger King exclusives.
I never played the Burger King
You
games.
never played them?
I never played the Burger King games.
You thought Sonic 06 was bad? You should maybe... I saw it at the flea market. It was bundled as original Xbox and 360 version in one case. And, oh god, I've played that game. It's terrible. Not on my console. I wouldn't dare put that anywhere near my console. I can't remember where I played it.
Infects it with bad.
God, no. I just don't want that. I don't. No, it's the worst game I've ever played in my life. But, yeah, let's move on to the PS3.
I was kind of disappointed with the PlayStation 3. They didn't have that many exclusive titles. I think...
But to be fair though, neither did Microsoft's Xbox.
No,
but I think I think by today's date, I think it was something like 9 exclusive titles were released for the PS3 to date.
Off the top of my head, I can think of more.
Are you talking
exclusive-
series?
No.
9 exclusive series?
I haven't actually looked up this information, but that's what I was told. I was told.
9 is low.
I know, that's what I thought too.
I can
Mine's
think of more than
completely-
9 just by Insomniac.
I never
Yeah,
saw
all the
that.
Ratchet games.
Ratchet.
And-
If we're
It
just
might be
the
series then,
Uncharted,
again.
Killzone
It might be
games.
series then.
Ratchet, Uncharted,
See,
Resistance,
I can see it being
Killzone,
9 series.
God of War, Infamous, Sly Cooper came back. Jack didn't. Isn't that disappointing?
Yeah, it is a little bit disappointing, but
But then there was games like Mag, and I was
Mag
had
interesting.
potential.
Mag had potential, so that
Sorry.
is something I will say. That is one of the games I did
that-
get for my PlayStation.
When I heard about Mag, I was
Unlocked
excited. I didn't even own a
Sorry,
PS3,
man.
and I was excited for Mag.
You
Yeah, me.
PS3.
What about the PS3?
Talk about it because I gotta step up for a second.
There is quite a bit to say about it, especially because that was one of the worst launches on consoles in a long time. I think the previous worst console launch was probably the Sega Saturn. Mostly because of the outrageous price of the PS3, though. They launched it
$600 price tag.
$600
that was also-
price tag, selling at a $200 loss. They put their all into making this a powerful console, making it into a luxury item, and they went a little bit too far.
But you also need to consider the biggest drive on that price was probably the Blu-ray player.
The Blu-ray player and the cell processor. That 8-core processor still is retardedly powerful. Twice as much theoretical power as a PlayStation 4's central processing unit. Theoretical power, though. The programming for that is so incredibly difficult that nobody's even gotten half of the peak in a game. But that gave them a lot more liberty to, make beautiful game titles. Sure, the graphics processing unit on it wasn't quite as powerful as the 360, when all things considered, but you got stuff like Journey out of it. Journey was an amazing game. Fluid simulation on the sand, real good effort to the shaders and the lighting, and definitely the best story I've ever played in a game that had no words. In fact, best story in a game I've played in a long time.
Yes, the art of making a game with a story seems to be dying.
Yeah, though most people they like to prioritize good graphics and tuned gameplay high over the story. Probably a little too high.
Again, if the story isn't... If I'm not enjoying the story, I have no care how pretty the graphics look. Combat system, I'll put it near equal importance to story. If I can't get behind the combat system, or main game mechanic if it's not a combat-based game, then I understand, just because that just makes the game suck. Good example was Dragon Age Origins. That game had a very difficult combat system to deal with. I found myself dying and getting stuck very, very often.
We're getting a bit sidetracked, though. We're supposed to be talking about the PS3.
Yeah.
I was
sorry.
actually quite a late adopter of the PS3 because I was still enjoying the heck out of my PlayStation 2. There were still games that I hadn't found all the secrets of. And it was a while before I actually had things worthwhile on picking up a PlayStation 3. In fact, the first time I officially got my own PlayStation 3 was 2 years ago. And I had that pretty much exclusively for... It had that pretty much exclusively for the Ratchet & Clank games and the Infamous series and Journey. That's really all that there was for me for that game.
Journey.
Or for that console. I mean, I've expanded my library quite a bit since then, but I'm not much of a first-person shooter fan or a whatever it's called, QuickTime event fan. So that rules out a bunch of the exclusives like Killzone or God of War.
God of War.
God of War is interesting.
God of War is interesting.
I recommend at least playing the first one.
Oh, I've played it.
Play the
liked
first
it.
two at least. The second one was a nice sequel. I just heard the third was more of the same.
I actually really
I'm
like
looking
the
forward to
first
playing
one. It's
third.
just not really my cup of tea. I'd much rather be playing a Jack game. Too bad one
Yeah.
never came out. I even tried the Uncharted series, and while it was a very nice game, is not a huge fan of it.
I heard the Uncharted 2 is quite amazing.
Yeah, I've heard as well, but I never finished Uncharted 1, so I can't just jump into the second one.
Well, you could, but
That's not how I play my games. I'm not.
same. I would never do that.
Yeah, I was told that I should
I try
totally
not to do
have
that.
for my PlayStation 4 that I should be playing Killzone Shadowfall, but I'm like, well, I've never played anything more than like the first half of the first one, so how am I supposed to jump right into the fourth one?
I haven't played Bioshock Infinite yet because I haven't played Bioshock 2.
But that game, that's a little bit different.
I don't care. It's still the
Technically,
same series.
yes, but I didn't play my copy of Infinite until I'd beaten the first two.
I was the same way,
I
but
want to replay the first one.
And you
Yeah.
actually get a lot of appreciation for Bioshock Infinite if you've recently played the first two, because it goes back on a lot of the stuff in the first two in subtle ways that you don't notice until you've actually like got it fresh in your memory.
I heard there's a Beach Boys cameo or
Kind of.
something.
Yeah,
Are you really?
kind of. Yeah.
Man,
I'm not going to tell you anything. You haven't played it yet. Though I
need to
will
play it.
say, play
considering
the first
it's like
one.
in the 1910s, I don't know how you're going to do that.
Play the first one. Play Bioshock.
Wait, I think I
And
read
then
a
pay
cameo.
attention to the level design. Pay attention to the buildings. You will notice a lot of parallels.
Oh, really?
That was intentionally done though.
Yes, that's
I
the
heard
point.
that was intentional.
It's,
When you get near to the end game, it starts to come together as to why.
yes, so you should just not say anything more because you're going to ruin it for them.
I'm not going to say why.
Oh, I already had it ruined for me.
You asshole.
I didn't do it on purpose. I've been doing my best to keep away from spoilers. And then I was just watching some random internet video and they said something
Which ruined
about
everything.
a relationship.
Oh, you're talking about Bioshock Infinite, and I know it.
Don't go too far. 'Cause
Oh,
I don't want to
you wanna
spoil it
know?
for other people. No, I already know what it is. And
We're
I got
getting
it
off
for
topic,
me. I
guys.
just don't want to ruin it for anybody who
The
might
keg is a
listen.
lie.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
It turns out Booker's a cake.
and he's lying. So, yeah, PlayStation 4 had a pretty rough start.
Three.
Three,
We're
yeah.
still with three.
Tree.
Sorry.
4 had a bit of a rough start too, but so
No.
did
So did the one.
One had a worse
And the
start.
Wii U's
Okay.
having a bad year.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
PlayStation 3 had a bit of a rough start, mainly because of price tag and lack of games. You know, PlayStation 3
Yeah.
got no game.
$599 US. $599 US.
Yeah, but again, they were selling that
Did
at
you
a
ever
$200
play-
loss.
Have you ever played Genji Days of the Blade?
No, I have not.
I did.
Yeah.
It's as bad as they say.
That's unfortunate.
No, it's not. It's the giant enemy crab game.
Yeah.
What
I
did
know.
you expect?
Still,
I've also
PlayStation
never
3.
touched a Ridge Racer game.
PlayStation 3 did manage to catch up at the end of the generation to the 360, but I feel like there was a lot of overlap in the fan base there,
It really was.
and that
Like
showed.
Diego, the biggest. He bought a PS3, and there's two reasons I can think of. One was MAG, which was the big selling feature was the 256 player online, which again had potential. It was
they
actually
never really exercised that potential though.
that's because the community wasn't particularly communicative.
Yeah, that's-
they didn't communicate very well.
That's kind of a. PlayStation 2 never had online, so people weren't really
But
into
again,
online with the
he-
Sony consoles type of deal.
But Diego has said several times that he ends up just using his PlayStation 3 as a Blu-ray player, and
Yeah.
one of the biggest reasons he bought it was because it was for the Blu-ray, and it was only $100 more than Blu-ray players at the time.
Yeah.
Well,
I got a PS3 because when my parents split up for Christmas, my dad got a PS3 because my mom had an Xbox. And it's like, okay, I can try PS3 stuff out now. At first it was like, well, it's supposed to be a shared console, so what do I have? Lego Star Wars and Ratchet and Clank Future. Cool. But then, well, I started trying out some more exclusive stuff. And, like, Metal Gear Solid 4 is the reason why I play Metal Gear Solid today. And that's one of the worst games to get into Metal Gear Solid, but it is a blast if you have no idea what's going on, and everything starts going bonkers, and old men fighting on top of a building, and the ghost of your brother is in his hand.
Bleh.
What is going on?
it's a similar experience to having your first Metal Gear Solid game be Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
Oh man, I hope that's nobody's first Metal Gear.
That was actually mine.
What?
It's the first one I actually sat down and played for more than 5 minutes.
Get
Alright?
I don't know. All I remember is
Okay, okay. Let's wrap this. Favorite PS3 game?
Favorite PS3 game has to be a tie between Journey and Future Kraken Time, because both of those games, they're very good story, and the story is what makes it for me for the game. And both had very good gameplay. Journey was all about the journey. It was all about traveling. The game was all built around moving, and they did a really good job of making it feel very smooth and fun. I mean, it got a bit frustrating at the very end, but that was mostly myself.
It is an intense game.
Okay.
And
Worst.
Worst? Oh, Ratchet and Clank Full Frontal Assault.
Yeah.
And I feel bad about pitting the best and worst on the same series, but Full Frontal Assault is a far cry from what Ratchet and Clank ever should have been. It was an attempt to branch out into new territory that backfired
Starship
quite badly.
Phoenix 2!
That doesn't even make sense in context of where that game relates to the series as opposed to this third game where the Starship Phoenix came from. And also their portrayal of all the characters and the god-awful version that came on the PlayStation Vita. All of it was just an all-around horrid experience.
Can you believe they did that?
Oh, I can believe it.
I still can't get over that.
Well, when you think about who the villain was, it makes perfect
This
sense.
shouldn't have even been a villain in the first place.
But anyways, yeah, that or the next one will probably be...
Well, I'm sufficiently pissed off now. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, moving on. I guess we should move on to the Wii.
The drug console.
I love the Wii. The Wii is my favorite video game console ever.
Wii is the casual console.
And
As much as PS3 was solo, as much as Xbox was multiplayer, Wii was casual.
And
It's
there's
something you'd
nothing
play
wrong
with your family. It was something you'd play while drinking. It's just
but
something for...
Actually,
But
coming from a retail perspective, this is how I usually sold the consoles. The Wii is a kiddie console. I'm sorry to say it.
It is.
That's how I...
It's a family-oriented console.
It's
No.
the only console I
Let
want.
me, I know how I'm stating this. This is the kiddie console. If you want a well-rounded console, I usually went with a 360. You have
Oh,
those
yeah.
kiddie games, but you also have the hardcore games like the Call of Duty, the Halos, and stuff like that. I never, ever, ever recommended a PS3 to a family that had a lot of small kids.
Neither would I.
I wouldn't either, and I'm the big PS3 fan.
Exactly.
Same.
The
There was-
PS3 I
I
always
was out
found
on-
was it was all
I'm
about
not-
the single player experience.
I'm
To
not-
be honest, I find the
Lots of them
PS3
there.
was the weakest of the three in that generation.
We'll be getting to that in a bit. Let's not lose sight of what we're talking about now. I love the Wii. It's my favorite video game console of all time because Wii games are great and they are kids' games, but you can sink a lot of time into Super Mario Galaxy and its sequel and the Zelda games that are on it. Sure, they're some of the weakest in the series, but they're still really great games. And Galaxy, I dare you to finish Galaxy.
I don't play Wii.
That's the thing.
But-
it's a
Nintendo
challenge.
is a master.
It's a genuine challenge to get through some of those levels.
It
But
definitely
you've
is.
got to be a fan of that genre to begin with. 3D platformers are kind of a dying genre.
No, they're not really dying. They just
But they-
never took off to begin with.
No, they took off. They took off during the
PlayStation 2.
N64 and PlayStation era, and they had a bit of a
Crash Bandicoot. You got your
Yeah.
Jack. You've got
Spyro.
Spyro. You've got
Ratchet and Clank.
But that
technically.
was a while ago, and it went
Tapered-
into a little bit of the PlayStation 2 era, but then it just sort of went away.
It tapered down to just being like Spyro and Ratchet and Clank and Mario.
But Spyro's
really.
turned into a
Skylanders.
dungeon.
It's
dungeon
basically
crawler games.
Diablo for kids, and I'm fine with that.
It's
Because-
Diablo.
To
for
be
kids
honest,
with some cooler
Nintendo
stuff
is
than
the master of
Diablo.
repetition. Their
Oh,
games
yeah.
have always been repetition. They've always been they've always been relying on their major release titles.
Galaxy's a very different game.
It's-
the
it
tracking
is.
mechanic is so well implemented.
I wouldn't say Nintendo's the master of repetition. I would say
No, I would say
Activision is
Activision,
the
yeah.
master of repetition.
Nintendo
But for
doesn't
the
really.
worst possible
Guitar
reasons.
Heroes 1 through, what was the last one called?
It was called DJ Hero 2.
They actually released a sequel.
Oh yeah, I own it. I haven't played it. I plan to at some point.
And then
What
there's
is wrong with you?
Call of Duty 1 through now Ghosts.
Fuck Call of
Don't
Duty.
forget all of the all the Tony Hawk games were all
Oh,
Activision.
Oh god.
There were some
Tony
good
Hawk.
Tony Hawk games, man.
American Wasteland,
Underground.
I loved it.
Underground
Pro
2.
Skater 4. Do you remember my old Mac?
Yeah.
It had Pro Skater 4 pre-installed. Getting off track, damn it.
Stop that.
Sorry.
I will throw my phone at you.
But
I just-
Nintendo's not really the master of repetition. They're like the
They
master.
know what they do, and every year, every iteration, they make it not better, but they polish it to make it fresh.
They
It's
polish it to make
basically-
it fresh, and they polish it to add new features without crowding the old features.
I
They make
haven't-
it feel new without having to make it
You
new.
want to take that red collar off there?
I haven't played 3D World yet. It just came out last Friday.
got it.
I'm looking forward to it. This is I wasn't big into Galaxy. I played it a little bit, and it's a challenge. But 3D World is the first time I've been looking forward to a Mario game in a long time. Because have you heard that music? It gives you there's a
Good old
saxophone.
Mario feels.
No, it's more than just them good old Mario feels. It's music that just kind of sinks into you and it makes you happy. It's so good. Oh man, I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, favorite one of my best memories of the Wii is Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Not just playing it was a blast. By the time Brawl had come out, I was already big into learning a bunch of Nintendo history and I already knew all, if not all, then pretty close to most of the really obscure references present in the game. I think the only thing I didn't know was classic Fire Emblem and Mother 3 and even Drill Dozer. I had no idea what that was.
I still don't. I never looked it up.
But more than just playing that game with my brothers and finishing it and unlocking everything and finishing Subspace, which was a genuine challenge. Seeing Sonic, my favorite video game, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle is my favorite video game ever. Seeing the reveal for Sonic in Brawl was just such an amazing moment. The first time I saw the original trailer was walking past a Toys R Us, the Toys R Us in our city, and seeing it on one of those old monitors and just blowing my mind with Mario's massive Hadouken attack. That was so...
Those monitors are still there.
Yeah, I know, they're still there. That's awesome. Yeah, but then there's actually going to get the game. It was a blizzard. It was the last day of March break. Great timing, Nintendo. And
Shoot. My hammer.
I walked all the way up from my house on Albert Street, all the way up to the Regent Mall and Toys R Us. And I got there, I gave them my pre-order, and it was so cold outside, it was nuts. And then I walked back, and none of the sidewalks were plowed. It was great.
So it was, what was it, neck level on you?
Shut up.
Just about.
It was actually quite high, it was about waist level.
Yeah, so about my knees.
Yeah, about your knees. Shut
So
up.
about halfway up to my hips.
Yeah.
And shut up. But it was so worth it to do it. And then getting home, and not long after, my brothers got home, and because they were in Moncton, they just got back. Somehow the highways were plowed.
This is getting to be a pretty long story about how you got Brawl.
It was a
Highways always have higher priority than sidewalks.
yeah, I guess so. Either way, it's just that sticks out in my memory for a while. And then you guys came around, and then a couple of my brother's friends came around, and we played Smash Bros. All day, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
I still remember the day when you picked up DJ Hero when it first released.
Yeah, because I owed you money.
You owed me over $200 for that.
I didn't know you were over $200 for that.
Yes, you did.
Was it over $200?
Yes, you got the special edition version.
I thought I paid for half of it.
No,
No.
you didn't get paid. That's why you needed me there.
Oh,
You were
right.
planning on paying for half of it.
And then you didn't get paid for some reason.
There was some
Right.
mix up in your paycheck. Right, you just started your job and you thought you were getting paid that week, but you were getting next pay period. That was it.
No, I didn't just start that job. They screwed me over once. And I'm
But either
sorry.
way, I was the only other one with a job, so I had to go with you, miss my
Right,
boss.
right. I had a job. I just
You had
didn't
a
want to
job.
give him $300 for DJ Hero.
I paid you back
Eventually.
eventually. If I could go back in time and smack my teenage self. Anyway,
And then you found the same edition under a dumpster.
Ah,
yeah, that was an interesting day.
that was great.
Anyway, and then later that day, and that doesn't matter. Anyway,
Pancake.
there was I remember getting that console, and I just love it. It upscales GameCube graphics slightly, so that's enough reason for me to love it. And plus, all the games pretty much most of the games I want to play on NES, SNES, and N64 are on the Virtual Console, except for the Donkey Kong games. That's a bit of a bummer, but yeah, just all around.
Get an
my favorite
N64.
system.
That was a great console.
I will be getting an N64 at some point, but before that, I will be getting a Hyper Game.
What's the worst game then?
Worst game?
Did we even decide what the
There's
best game
a
was for
bunch.
it?
Oh, best game? I would say Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy,
Okay.
because it just takes it the most. It's the game that pushes the. It's the most new of the Mario games that are on the Nintendo Wii. It's the one that
Galaxy 2.
Galaxy 2 is very.
It's a reiteration.
It's technically it is a sequel. It does take place after. There are different levels, but it's pushing for the nostalgia thing because there's a straight up they straight up pulled the second level of Super Mario 64 and put it in there, and it's cool, and the music's redone, and it's great. But Galaxy 2 is the one that pushes for the nostalgia, but only slightly.
Okay, so you're saying Galaxy is the best.
Galaxy best game. It's the one that pushes the system the most. The worst. There's a lot of shovelware on the Wii, but I'm trying to think.
Other M.
Other M has good gameplay.
Kind of.
Call
Call of Duty 4. I never played Call of Duty 4 on the Wii.
I never either, but I remember selling it.
Think. I know I've certainly played some terrible Wii games. Oh my god.
It's kind of sad that one of the best Wii games I played was actually
Shoot.
included with the console.
If I could, the one that comes to mind is a game called Chicken Shoot. It's a Flash game, and it's not even like Alien Hominid or Cave Story, where it's a web game with a great following that is a genuinely good game that managed to get on the console. No, Chicken Shoot's just a shitty Flash game that got put on the Wii because, hey, we think we can make some money off of this. That's it. That's all it is. So,
Okay.
I'm thinking Chicken Shoot. I guess that concludes this, but we have another announcement. We are moving channels. We're sort of doing, it's not really a reboot, this channel's not going anywhere, but the next channel is going to be a lot more streamlined, it's going to be a lot more organized. This was very much the beta phase of our Let's Playing
Misadventures.
Yeah.
BioShock.
We've got some interesting stuff coming up. We're going to do, I've got a Mario Kart LP that I've recorded with Aldane and Sylvex. There's going to be Injustice, some Kirby, some GTA 5, some...
Oh god, GTA.
Lots of stuff.
Hey, and when we
are,
get to it,
however-
there's going to be some exclusives, like, Titanfall.
Oh yeah, Titanfall.
And we're going to do Titanfall. I don't care what you say.
We're going to do Titanfall. I'm totally down for doing Titanfall. I'd love to see if we can organize some kind of Titanfall tournament. I love tourney vids. I had a blast recording Mario Kart, and that's basically what I did.
I don't know, I've never been a fan of mech games.
We are, however,
this
going
is
to keep
different.
this a lot more focused. We're going to try not to be all over the place with the games. We're going to try and finish stuff before starting too much else.
Yeah.
I don't see that going well.
It'll happen.
Oh, it's going pretty good so far. We've got quite a bit of stuff recorded for the ones we've started right now. In fact, we're about halfway through a couple of them.
Oh yeah.
We still haven't finished BioShock.
We probably
really
never
won't.
will.
Most
If
of the
we're
stuff
gonna do
on this
more
channel is
BioShock-
getting cut.
If we're gonna do more Bioshock, I think what we should do is we should do a really flimsy playthrough of Bioshock Infinite with the Move controllers.
Oh man, that's hard.
I know, right?
I-
That's what I'm
I
looking
think
for.
we should just go to Burial at Sea.
I don't. Well,
That actually sounds like a fun idea.
good. Well, I want to finish the other ones before I do that.
You might want to finish the other one first, then.
We'll
Yeah.
see when I get there.
Get there soon.
All right. So I'm gonna put a little Future Edge. Put a little clicker or something for the awesome people to click to take.
What you
them
really
to-
mean is, Jago, don't forget to put the new link on, because you're the one who usually does the links.
Yeah, that's right. Future Django, please remember, put an annotation or like a box or something. Make a something for people to click.
Do
to
a
take them
thing
to
to
the new
click to
channel.
go to the place.
Right here!
Yes, right there. No, there. I said there.
How about over here?
No.
I will throw a cinder block at you.
And where that cinder block lands, make the link right there.
Okay.
Bye, guys. Bye, guys. Bye, guys. Bye, guys. Bye, guys.